Good evening, everybody. JDev has returned once again to give you exactly what you want, which, of course, you already know the drill, would be more of me, that amazing backdrop that's usually behind me, giving you my thoughts, my opinions, what I hope will be some expert analysis on a certain topic subject. So, lately, I've been talking about the Scream movies to a lot of you. Maybe not in videos necessarily, but in person, I have been since I recently watched all four Scream movies again. And plus, of course, in early September, I went to a convention where I met random people from the original two Scream movies. So I thought it's time to make my list of my top 10 favorite Scream characters of all time. This list is covering everybody that's in the first four movies. Again, this list is open to editing if they make another Scream movie, or if I just decide I like somebody else more down the road. But here's my top 10 list. But before I go into mine, if you have a list of your own on YouTube or Facebook, please write it in the comments section. I mean, we got to compare lists and see where I'm at versus where you're at. Like the video if you enjoy the Scream movies. Thumb it up on YouTube. If you want to thumb it down, that's okay. I'm all right with that. Share it, favorite it, all that good stuff and more. And make sure you're subscribed. But here's my list. And if you don't agree with it, give me your list. Your top 5, top 3, top 10, top 50. Okay, that's going a little bit too far. But my top 10 list of my favorite Scream characters. Number 10 is on my list, or number 10 on the list, I should say, would be Dewey Riley. A lot of people would have him higher on the list. I find his character annoying at sometimes. I don't know if they really wanted to keep him alive in the series, but certainly he was a memorable character, being in all four Scream movies, more highlighted in the last two, where he was more of a main character in Scream 3 and Scream 4 to a certain degree. But Dewey was definitely memorable. And then the spoof Special Officer Doofy was fucking hilarious. So if there wasn't a Dewey, there wouldn't have been a Doofy. And yeah, so Dewey, number 10. Number 9, Joel. Joel was the cameraman in Scream 2 that had the lines like, I'm going to go shoot something a little bit more Saved by the Bell-ish. Yes, I got that on film. And I don't know, I just found him really entertaining. And he was a memorable character, and I'm a little surprised that he never came back to another movie. There were rumors that he was coming back, and he just, I don't know, something fell through or something like that. But Joel, played by Dwayne Martin, was actually a very funny character. Hey, who broke my band? But I'm going to go do some a little bit more Saved by the Bell-ish. And yes, I got that on film. I don't know, he was just memorable. So, Joel, number 9. Number 8, we have Cotton Weary. Cotton was in the first 3 Scream movies. He was a memorable character. He had a very, very limited role in Scream 1, and then a more increased role in Scream 2, and then a huge death scene in Scream 3 to start off the movie. So Cotton was great. The Shriver was good at playing him, and I really enjoyed his character development over the films, as he was very entertaining in Scream 2. I really must admit that. I just love Scream 2. You guys all already know that. So, Cotton Weary, number 8. Number 7, we have Tatum, of course, played by Rose McGowan. She was in Scream 1. She was funny. She had one of the funnier lines. Bam, bitch went down. Sid, super bitch. And she just, I don't know, she was just entertaining. It's unfortunate that she was killed off, because I think she would have been a good addition to the latter movies. But unfortunately, she didn't make it that far. But nonetheless, Tatum, number 7 on the list. Number 6, we have Mickey, the freaky Tarantino film student. Mickey, of course, was in Scream 2. He was one of the killers in Scream 2. And I think he did a really good job. He was very entertaining. He was a little nuts. Didn't see that coming. Did ya? Did ya? And he was just really, really good. I think he was a really entertaining killer. Wish he would have got more time, if you could say that. I think he got a limited role in that movie, but he made the most of it. He was funny, and he played that psychotic part, psychopath, psychotic, really good. So, Mickey, number 6. Number 5, Gale Weathers, of course, played by Courtney Cox. Mickey, if you didn't know, was played by Timothy Olyphant. Courtney Cox played Gale Weathers pretty good. She was a bitch, but then she was a likable bitch in the end. It seemed, you don't really like her in the first 2 movies, and then the third and the fourth one you start to like Gale a little bit more. But I mean, she could have been lower on the list, but I really enjoyed her character, and I really want to meet Courtney Cox just so I can have her sign my Scream poster, really. Scream 2 poster, actually. So she's great. And yeah, I love the part when she slugs Jennifer in Scream 3. My lawyer liked that. Not as much as I did. So Gale Weathers, number 5. Number 4, we have Kirby from Scream 4, the only person that's not one of the major 3 characters that was in Scream 4. Kirby kind of played some of the Jamie Kennedy role. Randy role in Scream 4 is the kind of the nerdy movie, horror movie, know-it-all. And I liked Kirby's character. Now, Kirby, you're led to believe that Kirby's dead. But since you don't see Kirby die, I think if there would have been another Scream movie, which there may be someday, but the plan was to do another trilogy, that Kirby's character would have survived. Because that's what the Scream movies do. They lead you to believe that somebody's dead, and then they bring them back. So Kirby was very entertaining, and she's not too bad to look at either. So Kirby, number 4 on the list. Number 3, the main character of the Scream series, and that, of course, would be Sidney Prescott, played by Neve Campbell, of course. Sidney was great. Annoying at times, but you got to put her on the list because it's Sidney. She did a good job in Scream. I think she did a better job in Scream 2. Scream 3, she wasn't as featured as much because Neve Campbell only had 3 weeks of filming time available because she was doing Party of 5, Drowning Mona, and other things. And then Scream 4, she was featured quite a bit. But I think she did a good job playing Sidney Prescott. And she's on the list at number 3. Number 2 on my list would be Stu. Stu, of course, being one of the killers in Scream 1. Very predictable, by the way, but he did a really good job. He was very memorable and had some funny stuff with the and he just kind of stole the show in Scream 1, actually. I think. He almost was number 1. Actually, as I watched these all over again, I had a tough time deciding who would be number 1, because I like a lot of the characters a little bit. I can like him as my favorite character a little bit, and it was hard to do this. But Stu, number 2, which means number 1, my favorite character of the Scream franchise, would still be Randy, of course, played by Jamie Kennedy. It sucks that Randy was supposedly killed off in Scream 2. I don't believe it. I think Randy at some point potentially could come back. I find that a little out of place that he was killed, but he had some great lines, some great knowledge as far as rules of a horror movie, and he just did great. That part with him talking to the killer in Scream 2, and you want to be one of the big boys, Manson, Bundy, OJ, you'll always be the geek, and you'll never get the girl. Fuck you! I love that dialogue. What's your favorite scary movie, dead boy? Showgirls, absolutely terrifying, or frightening, whatever he says. Just great. I loved Randy. He was good. I met Jamie Kennedy. Of course, I met Neve Campbell. I've met Matthew Lillard. I've met Skeet Ulrich, David Arquette. So I want to meet everybody from the Scream movies. That's my goal, I think. So that's my list. I hope you guys enjoyed the list. I know it's kind of weird. Some of you may not agree with this list. Some of you would have Dewey a lot higher, possibly number 1. But let's just recap it, because I know you weren't really paying attention. Number 10, that would be Dewey. Number 9, Joel, the cameraman. Number 8, Con Weary. Number 7, Tatum. Number 6, Mickey. Number 5, Gale. Number 4, Kirby. Number 3, Sidney. Number 2, Stu. And number 1, Randy. So I hope everybody realistically really enjoyed the list. I put a lot of thought into it, and I really would appreciate it if you have a list of your own. Maybe it's not that long, but if you have a list nonetheless, please leave it in the comment section. Make sure you like and thumb up the video. Thumb it down if you don't like it. And always make sure you subscribe. So, hope you guys all enjoyed it. And, of course, I'll be back again soon with another. Peace.